Let's start with the classic bouncing ball. This exercise teaches you about spacing, the gaps between the main keyframes, and the timing when the ball actually hits the ground. First, create a ball in Flash. The shortcut to make a circle is pressing the letter O. As soon as you make an object in Flash, it's also good to note if you look at the timeline, the outlined circle now becomes dark. This just indicates that there's something in that frame. Now we need to convert the ball to a movie clip. This is a good procedure when animating in Flash. The shortcut for this is F8 on the keyboard. When you have the ball selected, press Q and you'll see that a white dot appears in the middle of the ball. This represents the pivot point. We need to move this pivot point to the bottom, so select and drag it down. By doing this, when we add squash and stretch later, when the ball hits the ground, it's going to be a lot easier to animate. In the timeline, let's call it ball. Now this is also added to the library in Flash. The good thing about the library in Flash is that you can reuse the asset later if you need to, and it doesn't use up any more memory. Create another layer in the timeline. This represents the ground. The shortcut to make a line is to press the N key. This selects the line tool. Select the line, keep your finger on the shift. This will constrain it to the horizontal axis and drag it across. Stroke changes the size. Just make the line big enough to see for the ground. Click on the timeline at frame 24 for the ground and then shift click in the layer for the ball also. Press F6 to insert a keyframe. This creates a key for both the ground and the ball at the point of 24 frames, which is 1 second. The grey area after the first key up to the empty rectangle in the timeline just show there are no changes between those main keyframes. Select the ball on the stage and at frame 12 drag it to the ground, then press F6 again to make another keyframe. To add in the in-between frames to smooth out the animation, click on the first frame of the ball in the timeline, then go to the menu, Insert, Classic Tween. Then select frame 12 in the timeline and do the same again, inserting another classic tween. Now when you press return, you can see the preview animation again. The ball has a smooth movement, but the spacing is wrong, the gaps basically between the frames. What we need to do to make realistic movement is when a ball actually bounces on the ground, it slows down at the very top of the motion. So we need to add this in the Flash file. The onion skin mode is represented by two small squares, one light and one grey, in the timeline panel. Click on it and you'll see a grey bar appear just above the timeline. Drag the ends of this and pull them to 24 frames. So you can see the onion skin for the whole animation's duration. Now you can see the gaps between the individual frames. At the moment they are all even. So the ball is moving with even spacing, which means at a constant speed. In order to make the ball move realistically, we need to add in some easing in and easing out. So select the first frame. In the Properties panel on the right hand side, select the ease value and with your mouse hovering above the number, keep the mouse button down and drag it till it reaches -100. Make sure the onion skin is selected and drag the sliders at the top from frame 1 to 12. You can now see the frame positions get close to each other at the top, which means they slow down. Now select the ball in the timeline and go to frame 23. In the Properties panel, again the same procedure, use the easing in easing out value and put this to +100. You can type it in or you can drag your mouse, both work the same. Now when you press return, you can see the basic animation working. In the next video we'll have a look at adding squash and stretch.